Hi everyone, I'm back, and today has been a strange day. I am exhausted, and I feel like God is just putting death in my face a lot today. And I want to know if anybody else is experiencing this because it was so obvious. I mean, it just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And not to scare me, but just to remind me of what's important. And that, I guess I'll start by saying, first of all, I had to go to an emergency clinic this morning, and then I went to a doctor's office. So I was just seeing a lot of older people who, could barely walk, and I was thinking, man, if God lets us live that long, we're all going to be there, where your body just gets old. And then I went to visit a friend from church who got diagnosed with cancer, and she had her first chemo treatment, and it went really, really bad, and she ended up in critical care, and she said she's not doing chemo anymore, and the cancer's already spread everywhere, so she's facing death. And when I walked in, she was just so thin and just kind of staring into space, and I'm sure they probably have her on some sort of medication, and she wasn't really saying much. And I was trying to encourage her, but I'm sure, I don't know, every person's going to be different, and I don't know what all was going through her head. But as I was just in that room, and I was thinking, I mean, obviously none of us are promised another day at all, but when it's so, you just got the news that your time it's up. It's just a matter of maybe days, weeks, and it just made me start thinking, what do I want to be like when I'm in that situation? Ideally, I want to have so much faith in God that I can be a blessing to other people. I know I've read about saints who were not scared when they were dying. I mean, you read about some of the saints and it will just blow your mind, burned at the stake, Joan of Arc, all these people. Even though we know that God is real and Jesus died for us and all these things, there's still so much unknown that I think it's just natural to be a little like, ooh, what's this next chapter? What's this next phase? But I cannot imagine being in that position without faith. I would be terrified. And then I heard about Dolly Parton passing, and then I heard about somebody else passing today. And so I'm just like, God, what are you saying? And when I was driving home, I was like, man, her face just, it really did. It looked like death all over it. She just isn't eating, and she's barely talking. You can tell she's just not in her right mind. These things of being scared of what God told us to do, when you're just facing death like that, those things seem so stupid. Like, why would I ever care what people thought of me if God told me to do that? And so I don't know if that was the reason why he was just putting it around me so much today and making me think about it so much, was just to say, be all in, go all in. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing worth anything to lose by going all in for me. If I'm trying to witness to somebody who's very skeptical, it's usually somebody who's very intelligent and they want to know everything, they want to figure everything out. And I'm just like, you don't have a better option. Jesus is offering you the best option. What a better option do you have? No one else is claiming they're going to save you. No one else is claiming that you're going to live in eternity in communion with God, and that it's going to be so great you can't even imagine it here in your little human mind, So to me, it's worth believing. It's just, you have no better option. You might as well believe it. So I guess it's just a reminder today, as we're trying to grasp onto these promises and get courage and faith and boldness to move forward, what do you really have to lose? People mocking you and laughing at you? Most of us have been mocked and laughed at anyway in our lives, so that's not really anything new. There's always going to be people who have something to say about what you're doing, whether you're doing it for God or not. But I want to be sitting there on my deathbed knowing that I really tried my best and I gave him all that I could of myself. I've wasted so much of my life. I don't want to waste any more time being scared or caring about things that just don't matter, material things. I mean, yes, he'll take care of us. I made that other video. He will provide. I'm in a sketchy looking situation right now financially, but I have every single thing I need plus. So I have absolutely no complaints. And I just think it's a good reminder that we don't know if we'll be here tomorrow. And it's kind of crazy how we just kind of live in a delusional land, like we're really never gonna die, you know? And I mean, we don't want to be scared all the time or always thinking we're about to die or whatever, but who knows when God's time is for us. And you know, people are always talking about Jesus coming back, Jesus coming back. I'm like, Jesus is gonna come back when Jesus comes back, but you're gonna die at some point. You know, either he's gonna come back or you're gonna die before he comes back. So regardless, your meeting with Jesus is coming. So trying to figure out when he's coming isn't really that important to me. I'm gonna meet him either way. Yeah, I've just been thinking about this a lot, and I don't love to think about it, but I also, it's nice to have it in perspective, to just know. I think too, he's like, get prepared, you know, get prepared for death. Live your life in a way that you're prepared when that moment comes. I do pray for a happy, holy death. And I don't know how God will take me, but I pray that if it's not immediate like that and it's some sort of illness or something like that, that I have enough faith to be what do I want to say? To fill other people up with faith, you know, not to sit there in panicking mode. And I do not know how I would react because I'm not in this situation. I'd love to think I would just be so gracious and full of faith, but I really don't have any idea. But I pray to God that he would fill me so full of faith in those moments that even my death would be a testimony of how much I believe Jesus. You know, he says if you call on his name, he will save you. Have y'all read that book, Go Under the Mercy? I just love that phrase, and I feel like that's just what's going to be in my head at that moment. Just go under the mercy, go under the mercy, go under the mercy. When you're transitioning in that moment, do not get caught up in, God's not going to let me in. I wasn't good enough. It's not about that. Do you believe that he is good? Did you try to live your life for him? Most of all, though, he already died for you, and all he's asking you to do is believe that. And if you believe it, you're obviously going to live accordingly. So go under the mercy. Go under the mercy. His mercy is so great. Oh, I don't know. Maybe some other people have had this experience today. I mean, obviously, everybody probably heard about Dolly Parton passing. And obviously, I don't know the inner workings of all of these people's lives. That's not what I'm making a claim here. I'm just talking about death, just straightforward. You know, we're going to be face to face with the Lord. It's crazy to think about that sometimes. Like face to face with him. So yeah, I just pray that God would help us to prepare well for that, so that that our death will be a blessing for others and possibly even bring people to faith. We know how much more effective people's lives are typically after they're gone. People reconsider everything you said, everything you stood for, and all those seeds that were planted may just happen to take root after you die. You never know. So anyway, that's all I've got tonight, but I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.